Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, the sexy and the not so sexy, big children and little. I am the novelist, author, poet. Excuse me. I am the artist, author, poet, Lamont Anthony Wright, aka Graffiti Blue. Welcome, Just My Thoughts podcast. Let's get right to it. Members of a crew who won't make it. Members of a crew who won't make it. I've got 5 typical members of a crew who won't make it. When I talk about members of a crew who won't make it, it's basically a team. You need a team if you are an entrepreneur, a sole proprietor. Even a sole proprietorship needs some sort of team. You're a musician, MC, artist, rapper, whatever. Whatever you want to do, especially in the world of, if you're in my world, which is the world of words, spoken word artist, hip hop artist, spoken word, performer, etc., host, whatever. You will certainly need a team to make it, and just because you have a team doesn't mean that it's going to be the right team. So for all of my people out there who care to listen, I am going to give you 5 members of teams, 5 members of a crew who probably won't make it. Well, it ain't no probably. If you have 5 members of a team and you've got these 5 members on your team, you won't make it. So let's break it down. Um, number 1, the first member of the crew that won't make it is the finger pointing leader. The finger pointing leader doesn't lead. The finger pointing leader does not lead by example, but instead points his or her finger at what needs to be done. Oh, this needs to be done. That needs to be done. That needs to be done. And they won't lead by example by doing it. Typically, the best leaders are actually some of the most determined and hardest working people on the whole of the group. A good leader probably wouldn't let their team, crew, subordinates, staff, whatever, outwork them. Now, there is such a thing as working smarter and not harder. And back-breaking work, just because you lift 10 suitcases and your staff is and your crew is lifting 5, doesn't mean you're freaking a great leader. A great leader does better than that. But the finger pointing leader somehow gains glory. It glorifies I'm the idea guy. I'm the idea person. You just come to me for ideas. You follow what I'm saying? And they try to act like they're Paulie and Goodfellas, where Paulie doesn't move anywhere. Everybody, if you Paulie doesn't go talk to anybody, but everybody comes talks to Paulie to see what they can and can't do. In the movie Goodfellas, I'm talking about Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, right? Remember Paulie? Okay. Well, Paulie could do that in the movie, and whoever that actor was portraying in real life, Paulie could do that because Paulie was greatly feared. Paulie in the movie provided protection. But if you are just the leader or so-called leader of your crew, you're not going to just be able, unless you're just a freaking genius or at least very smart, you're not going to be able to convince people that you're just going to sit on your backside all day and convince them that they should be hustling and sweating and doing backbreaking work for the benefit of you. Being a boss is simply not delegating. Can't be a glamorized idea man. Can't do it. Now, especially, anyway, the number two member of a crew that won't make it, or at least probably won't make it, is the especially in the world of art, is the introvert who wants to have success in an extroverted sense, meaning you have that, especially in the world of art, and in particular with the world of poetry, you have some people that are just like, while they're very introverted, they would love to just either write a book, make a song, album, whatever, and not necessarily deal with anybody. They're introverted. They express themselves through art. And it's not that the art isn't good, the art is good. Problem comes is when they want to appeal to masses of people. I remember I did a show with a author back in the day at Cat's Cafe, and she was amazingly introverted. She was just like, you know what? If I could just write books and have them sell millions and millions of freaking copies, but not deal with anybody, I would do that. And I'm just like, that's fair enough. I said, but let's say you do sell millions and millions of copies and you don't necessarily have to deal with anybody. I'm just like, if you are this big phenom, what are you going to do when your fans or admirers of your work want to enjoy your art? What if they want you to just read along? What if you just was online and you just read via, a program like this one right freaking here? What would you do? And she was just like, oh God, I have to read. I'm just like, so then my next statement was like, so you would disappoint your fans? You know what I mean? All they want to do is talk to you and ask you how you came up with these wonderful ideas in this book. And could I hear you read chapter 3, or what was you thinking when you created this character or whatever? He said you wouldn't. The people who made you rich and supported you, you're not rocking with them? You're not talking to them? You don't got to do it all the time. How long could a book tour really be? We're not talking like we the Rolling Stones and we just stay out on the road for 9 months. She wouldn't deal with it. So we have a problem when introverts want to be successful in something that takes an extroverted person to be successful in. The number three member of a crew who will not make it is the stingy guy. Yeah, the stingy guy. Now, when I say the word stingy, you may be thinking that I'm referring to money, and I'm kind of half referring to money, halfway, kind of sideways referring to money. But there are other forms of currency, especially in the world of business, art, or whatever, entrepreneurship. Um, what's more valuable actually than time? So, in the money, I'll wait for that answer, by the way, but in the money aspect, you have a lot of people that really feel that they want to be business people and they really feel with zero money down, with no money down whatsoever, that they can build a multi-million dollar empire. I don't think that's impossible, but I just think it's very highly unlikely. Like, you're not going to come out of pocket whatsoever and cake up. It takes money to make money. I was always taught that. It sounds reasonable to me. But also, especially when it comes to the time aspect, a lot of people don't are stingy with their freaking time, so they don't put the time in to study their nuances about their craft, how to be a better, whatever it, fill in the blank of whatever it is you want to do, how to be a better promoter, how to be a better event planner, how to be a better musician if you're a musician, how 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 to be a better marketer online. You follow what I'm saying? How can I have a better website? How can I have for how can I learn how to use social media to bring people in to whatever it is I got going on? A lot of people just are not necessarily doing that, and heaven forbid. I mean, that kind of goes along with people not necessarily wanting to put the work in, right? But that is certainly the number three person is the people that are just stingy, period. And sidebar here, um, I'm a spiritual guy, and a lot of my all of my beliefs are set in of course experiences, but from a spiritual place. And I really, it's a hard sell for me to believe that you can be stingy and and gain and have the universe not be stingy with you. You know what I mean? You ever hear the expression, you are what you attract, or you attract what you are, or however the wording of that is. You know what I'm saying? It is my belief, we attract certain things to us, be it because we're vibrating the same, mostly because we're on the same frequency. And sometimes when we're changing, some we attract the opposite when it's time to make our own change. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, you want something really good. Sometimes it seems like God will send you something really bad just so that you could appreciate something really good when you actually get something really good. But that's a whole nother podcast. But it's a hard sell for me to believe that your spirit can be just stingy and reluctant to give of yourself, whether that's money or whether that's time. And you can just be reluctant to give of yourself. And yet somehow the powers of the universe are just going to bless you with a bunch of whatever it is to encourage that. Tough sell for me, you know. So yeah, more likely scenario would be like, okay, wow, the universe will look at an individual and say, man, that individual is amazingly generous. Well, let me give them more because that's who they are. They're a generous person. So in order to satisfy who they are, in order to be in alignment with who they are, let's give them a whole bunch of stuff. They're just going to give it away anyway. You know what I mean? If you're generous, the universe is abundant to you. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. That's my belief. Anyway, the number four member of a crew, the fourth member of a crew that won't make it. This is more for musicians and hip hop in particular, musicians, MCs, and DJs in hip hop. The fourth member of the crew that probably won't make it, or definitely won't make it, depending on if you have every last one of the members on this list, is number four guy is the super thug. The super thug. Number four is the super thug. Well, in hip hop, that this music comes from the inner city and it comes from poverty, right? Shout out to Melly Mel. Broken glass everywhere. People on the station that just don't care. Can't take the sound, can't take the noise, got no money to move out. I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far because the man with the repo repossessed my car, right? Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. Uh, the origins of hip hop was in the inner city and in the ghetto, and this music ended up being this huge number, not only the number one music, but this huge industry, right? So because it comes from the inner cities, you had a lot of people that were children of the ghetto who were rock stars, ghetto superstars. Well, in the ghetto, people are trying to figure out how can they be a part of this movement, of this culture, right? All right. So it's like, okay, so here comes a super thug. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a thug in the crew, and I would imagine even in music, hell, Sade probably has a couple of tough guys in the band. You know what I'm saying? She's been living and on a high level for a long time. I'm pretty sure some creepy cat tried to get at Sade, and she's been well protected. You never really hear anything happening about her or to her, right? But you definitely having goons is a good idea, especially in the world of hip hop where you're going to have to go probably perform someplace a little sketchy. You're going to have to roll through somebody's hood and grab the mic. So having a goon is good. I say in the records all the time, I'm not a freaking tough guy, but I certainly had tough guys freaking around me. You follow what I'm saying? You don't. So I'm not, I'm not trying to be overcritical over protection. But I didn't say goon. I said super thug. The super thug. The reason why the super thug is a member of a crew who won't make it is because the super thug is going to create drama just to prove his value. Okay? The super thug, if no beef is popping off, the super thug is going to start some beef and then tell the artist that he is protecting. See what happens, see how that popped off, man. Lucky I was here, son. Lucky I was here. You know what I mean? I had to knock him out real quick. Then, in all reality, Super Thug actually started the beef. So, Super Thug, if you got Super Thug as a member of your team, you might want to reevaluate his membership. I keep saying his, I typically say his or her. Are there any, put it in the comments, are there any female super thugs? Yes, I know a few of them, but I don't know any female super thugs in a rap crew that I know. I've seen chicks knock guys out in Queens, flat out, but I haven't seen a super thug in a rap crew. So that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. And the number five member, the fifth member of a crew that probably won't make it, or definitely won't make it if you have all five of these members on your team, is the Coattail Rider. The Coattail Rider. This person might not necessarily have a lot of talent themselves, or maybe they do have a lot of talent, but they don't necessarily want to put the time in to cultivate those gifts. They don't want to really put the time, I.e., or slash work in or whatever. So, they figure they could just mastermind. Why do I need talent or cultivate my talent when I can just control the person who does have the talent? You know what I mean? Maybe it's like a Ike Turner situation where Ike is really trying to control Tina. Sure, Ike put the band together. Sure, Ike and his band gave Tina the shot. Sure, Ike had all of the connections and all of the knowledge, and I believe when he met Tina Turner, she was amazingly freaking green. She did not know about road life, performance life, and all of that good stuff. So he definitely was a bigger fish in the pond than she was when they met. But after Tina got her freaking chops and she became the star, I got on his manipulation campaign. Oh, you gonna blow up bigger than me? Well, I need to control you. And you see that a lot. You see that a lot where you had a lot of cats in the music business or the performance business or entertainment or whatever that's really bullies. And I've experienced that because, I'm just, once upon a time I used to have a hard time saying no, just telling cats no, because I'm not necessarily built to manipulate people. So I never understood that mindset of where people were just like, I'm just going to simply take advantage of you for all of our days if you let me. I'm not built like that. But I had to learn to say no. I said no so daggone much. I even wrote a book called The Art of Saying No, right? So, that's just what it is. So, um, be careful, ladies and gentlemen. You do need a solid freaking team of people you trust. You don't need a lot, anywhere from maybe, depending on what you're trying to do, by the way. For my level, independent author, curator of poetry venues, maker of albums and podcasts and all of that good shit. For my level, let's see, my team. There's the team, the worker bees, um, my publicist, my web designer, um, and the interchangeable pieces of other talented artists, DJs and producers and engineers like that. So I would say I need five. I need a web person that's putting it, that's getting me talking to the people on the web. You know what I mean? Effectively. I need the other person to bounce ideas off, who's also an artist. You know what I mean? That can build and put things into focus as far as event. I need a publicist to put all of this together, you know what I'm saying? And and sell it and things of that nature. So that's about where it stands. Let me see, 22 minutes. That's not bad. Five members of a crew that probably won't make it. If you have a member that I did not necessarily come up with on my own, feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Who is she really? Music video just dropped like 3 days ago. If you haven't checked that out, well, if you're on this channel, you probably checked it out already. But if you haven't checked it out, go shout that out, share it, like it, share a comment on that. A lot of fun making. I want to give a shout out to the model slash actresses that starred in the video, Tina, Ariana, and Ashley. Shout out to Wayne Shot It in Atlanta, Atlanta's own Wayne Shot It, in Atlanta. Man, you did such a phenomenal job, bro. And shout out to Sabrina Jones for for producing it and tearing it down and making my vision come to life. I am very, very appreciated. Until next time, people.